Okay, folks. Kia ora koutou, haere mai o tautahi. We are here at the Ngā Puna Wai Sports Hub for a very exciting match here in the Division 2 New Zealand Ultimate Championships, our women's division, a match between the BeybLadies from Wellington and the Furious Blueberries based out of Auckland. My name, as always, is Blair Munro. I'm joined here by the lovely Rachel Larkin, my good friend, to provide some context and commentary as we talk you through this very exciting game. Now, you've got a bit of a history with the BeybLadies. I believe you were instrumental in the sort of formation of that team. Unfortunately, you're not able to take to the field with your comrades today due to a small injury. But how do you feel about the BeybLadies' chance of success in this match against the Blueberries? Awesome. So a bit of a note on Blueberries. So we've seen the Blueberries club expand quite a lot this season. They've managed to pull enough players through to put two teams together, rather. One in the Division 1, which is the Fast Blueberries, and then in Division 2 we have our Furious Blueberries, who you see playing out of the light kit. So on your screen at the moment you'll see the first 7 players for the BeybLadies ready to take the field. And it looks like the BeybLadies are going to come out on offense. Conditions are quite still. There's not much of a wind at the moment. But the drizzle is starting to settle in. So, especially with some of the recent inclement weather towards the end of summer with Cyclone Gabrielle, the Furious Blueberries have plenty of experience playing in the rain. BeybLadies, I think Wellington, and Rachel, you might be able to back me up on this. Typically windy weather that's like breakfast for a Wellington team, right? Okay, so some great early offense from the BeybLadies, but some pressure defense is going to give the disc to the Blueberries. It's going to be McFadden to pick up and initiate out of a vertical stack, trying to create channels on the far and near sidelines for players to capitalize on. Caitlin Wood gets the disc towards the near sideline. Quick dish pass across to Amanda McFadden. Continues up that near sideline. Waiting for something to develop in the downfield space. The stall count getting high, lots of pressure from the BeybLadies. Just Arisha Chang not able to pull that one in. The spirit captain for the Furious Blueberries. A great run down there. Huge forehand on the near sideline. Going to give the disc back to the Blueberries, hopefully with an opportunity to close out this point here.
We got Silverman on defense at the moment.
Applying a huge amount of pressure towards the sideline, trying to stop the disc moving back towards center field, but Chang's able to get it through, finds Wood in the middle. Amanda McFadden, Blueberries slowly losing ground as the pressure from the BeybLadies forces them backwards. Not biting on the fakes. It's a nice little backhand and an upline cut for Wood. Some great disc movement there. Great overbite by Lee, but Chang's got it and pushes one through to low for the score for the Furious Blueberries as they go 1 up over BeybLadies in the early minutes of the match. We'll get to see this again. Nice upline cut there. Lee shuts down the continuation.
A little pop pass over.
And this is the finish, an open player. There it is. Some great work by both teams to sort of start things off. As the conditions start to deteriorate, it can take teams just a little while to sort of get used to the conditions. But these teams seem to be adapting quite well. Earlier on in the tournament, when we had the Spring Chickens facing off against Hundreds and Thousands, the first couple of points that were very, very scrappy. It took a little while for both those teams to shake the rust off. But this is, I think, probably the third match for these teams, possibly throughout the day, depending on how the tournament structure, the schedule has fallen. So These teams have already got that rust off. They're ready to come out. They're ready to go firing and walk away with the W.
It looks like the BeybLadies teams are talking a bit of straps. They have just signaled that they're ready to receive the disc. And a beautiful pull.
What a huge rip. Just a great shot out there by Tong. McLeod starting things off. A little bit of a miscommunication is going to give the disc back to the Blueberries. Gibson working with Tong on the far sideline. Couple of fakes. Defense creeps around, shuts it down, goes over the top of Gibson. Oh, some great heads-up offense there. As pulls that one down and gets the score as well. What a great display there by the Blueberries, putting another point on the board.
Definitely a really good up-the-line cut there from the Blueberries team.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to see that again. Over the head of Claire Gibson. Recovered nicely by Nice little offload, hard push up line. Great assist by Tong as well for the score. Blueberries currently up by 2. There's the signal for readiness from the furious Blueberries. Caitlin Wood with the disc to start off with a big pull, formerly of University of Canterbury Ultimate Club fame. Honey Badgers back in 2018, having moved up to Auckland recently and taken a great spot on the Blueberries B side. Puts the disc a little into the BeybLadies defensive zone, or defensive area rather. McFadden eats that one up. Nice left-handed backhand. Wood slightly overthrows Santillion. This is a great opportunity for the BeybLadies to pull that focus in.
We got Montgomery here just picking up the disc, looking for options.
Nice undercut, comes in a little high. Who's got it? McFadden goes in with an aggressive play.
And it looks like we have a foul called. Just having a discussion at the moment.
And this is one of the best things about the sport of Ultimate, is you don't see any referees or hear any whistles. It's a self-officiated sport. Players take it upon themselves to learn the rules, to make calls on the field, and resolve them as amicably as possible. So what we're seeing here is a good display of spirit by both teams, just taking a few seconds to discuss what they think should have happened and whether or not the play unfolded in accordance with the rules and the spirit of the game. So we're going to have BeybLadies retain possession off that call. Nice throw towards the near sideline, just outside of McLeod's outstretched fingers. McFadden pushes the near sideline.
Very good sideline force.
Wood with a nice forehand through. There's the big shot going up. Has she got it?
And
yes, she has.
Down.
Aini Louis with the score as Furious Blueberries go up by 3. What a great put. I dream of having a forehand that good.
That was definitely a beautiful shot straight into that back of the end zone and just floated beautifully into her hands.
So we'll see that one again. Wood working with McFadden. Instead, McFadden pulls the defense out. There it is. Look at that shot. The follow through, so well floated. 2 BeybLadies defenders really pushing down, but Aini Lui with a celebratory spin on the score.
Oh, that's a beautiful forehand up that line.
Hugh with an amazing assist. Just what a put. BeybLadies with some really good movement and good disc control. Just a few little miscommunications, some maybe timing issues that just need to be knocked out by these first few points. They've got players open in space. They've got throws that are sort of within range. It's just a little bit of executional tightening that I think needs to happen before we can see them really stage a comeback in this game.
Tyne with the disc now, looking up the line.
Pushes to the far sideline.
To Silverman.
Tyne pushes up line, but she's marked aggressively by Tierney. Silverman tries to thread the needle, but the pressure from the Blueberries defense just cuts off that window a little bit. Gibson, Gibbo with the disc.
And a big mark from
Silverman there, forcing that out towards the near sideline. So BeybLadies have an opportunity to bring the disc back in where it first left. They're about 6 to 8 meters in front of their own, in front of the end zone. There's an opportunity here. One good setup cut, one good throw is all it's going to take to put the BeybLadies on the board. And we have Lucy Tyne with the disc, marked by Tierney. We know Lucy's got the throws here.
She's looking for that swing option. Oh, and a beautiful run through D.
Huge play there. Nice work to push up the line. Napolitano with the disc. Puts one all the way through to Lim. Working with Tierney.
And it's a bit high, but it comes down. And it's a goal.
Low for Lim for the score as the furious BeybLadies put another one on the board. Some great work there. Just a nice backhand side. Great big throw. A lot of float underneath it. Plenty of time for Lim to get lined up underneath that throw.
The Blueberries team is actually coming out fighting today.
We're going to see that again. Low with not a lot of pressure on the disc. A great chase by the BeybLadies defender. Irwin.
Yeah, she was just out of reach there, Irwin, with that defense there. Just slightly, just needed to bring it down, but.
Yeah, just a couple of springs in the soles of her shoes probably would have got her there, I think. Would have been a nice aggressive play, really fired up the BeybLadies, which I think is one of the things that energy mismatch, I think, is there more than necessarily a skills or fitness mismatch. It's just that the Blueberries really want this, and we need to see that responsive energy from the BeybLadies to match that and let them turn the tide. Chang with the big pull. Landing deep into the zone, but it's fielded comfortably by McLeod. McEwen, sorry.
McEwen.
Great attempt, but it's Hugh with the block. Chang, one of the dominant handlers for this furious Blueberry side, supported by Caitlin Wood as they come out in a vertical stack. The great ups by Brittany Cock to pull that one down on the near sideline.
We've got an active mark from Lou there.
Caitlin Wood finds Santillion on the far sideline. Nice little lefty backhand. Bring it back to center field. Great put there. I think that is Brittany Cock for the score. Some great work by this Auckland team. All of the hard work they've been putting on over the season starting to show a little bit.
It's great flow play. They're finding that option, they're taking it, and they're moving fast. It's very clinical Frisbee.
Yeah, it's seeing the BeybLadies start off on their offense. Their option taking is good. The execution is almost there. And it's just those little windows the Blueberries are able to just get in front, maybe slam that window shut a little bit, just shut down those opportunities, generate the turn, and then convert on those turns. That's the big thing, that when they generate the turns, they're doing their best not to give the disc back. Okay, so Furious Blueberries currently up by 5 points. Giving the signal for readiness, ready to get this game underway. There is the pole picked up by the BeybLadies.
By Montgomery to McLeod.
Signaling for players under.
She definitely is telling them what she wants, looking for that right option.
And that's great leadership on display from some of these BeybLadies handlers as well, recognizing, hey, this cut, here's the space. This is space I feel confident throwing to. This is where I want you to target. I trust you to have that first step in front of your defender. Slightly overthrown by the Blueberries. Is going to give BeybLadies another chance.
We got Weld there and a big put up.
A monster left backhand, reeled in. Chin running on, hoping to be the available option, but it doesn't go. Disc goes back to Weld. Is that a right-handed forehand and a left-handed backhand? Yes. At that range? Weld putting in the work. Nice little dishy flick.
They're really working it up.
That's Stein again. Working with Tan. Puts one through for the score. That's no bagels today as the BeybLadies put one on the board.
From Kizzle there.
From Kizzle, just a great score. BeybLadies 1 against the Furious Blueberries 5, but that could be the key that unlocks the puzzle. What do the BeybLadies need to do to fight through this Blueberries defense?
We have a great pivot foot there, trying to break that mark. And then up the line and just picks it up. It's a beautiful point there. Really
nice cut. I think there might have been a little bit of a change in step. Watching the defender slightly overcommit on that one as well. And so the BeybLadies with an opportunity to come out on defense. The Blueberries have been doing a lot of nice sort of give-go work, some short and controlled passes. Their long game hasn't really been tested as much, so it might be good to see whether or not the BeybLadies are going to consider coming down with a zone at some point, maybe try and give up some of those individual matchups in favor of targeting vulnerable space on the field.
And the BeybLadies team is doing an arrowhead zone. Really trying to encourage those passes from the Blueberries teams, hoping they make a mistake.
Chang, Wood, and McFadden working through the handler space. Finds Santillion on the far sideline, working back to Chang. McFadden's an early option, but she doesn't get taken. What a leap for that one. Ling has to work back with McFadden.
And that's some fast play from the Blueberries team. Beautiful point, breaking through that zone, finding that space in the middle, taking those smart and right options.
Yeah, just really nice sort of quick passes. There are typically two ways, Rachel, I don't know whether or not you'll agree with this, but there are sort of two ways you'd typically break through a zone. either go wide around it, have those aggressive players up the front, try and tire them out, make them run a lot back and forth across the field until they slow down and give you options, or recognize that those zones are quite often front-loaded, and there's a lot of space throughout the middle and towards the back of the field that you can pop a shot over the top. But it's really good to see the Blueberries working through that zone, really making that move around. Aini Louis with another score and another spin as Blueberries go 6 to the BeybLadies 1. 1 point away from half. We have a game to 13. Now, a timeout has been called. If you were the BeybLadies coach, Rachel, and you've obviously worked with this team and you've worked with this coach as well, what kind of advice, what are the three main takeaways from the first points of the game, in your opinion, that you'd want to really tighten up or focus on to bring this game back and put it in your pocket?
Ooh, I would be looking for, if we're on offense, be really looking for those options and taking them the first time. I think a lot of what I've seen with women's Frisbee, a lot of ladies end up getting hesitant, and actually the first instinct is always right, take that option, hit it hard. And yeah, like, I'm hoping that they're talking about that in the circle at the moment. So, yeah.
Coach Oliver Swanson there on the left-hand side of your screen in the hoodie. Look at that smile. A former Equilibrium teammate of yours as well, I believe.
Yes, he's done really well to help these development ladies through the season, and they've come a long way. It's some of the girls there have never played a tournament before, so this will be their first one.
Wow, and honestly, like, what a fantastic game of theirs to capture. We know that the Blueberries, there's a huge amount of talent in that sort of Auckland pool that the Blueberries have tapped into, regardless of whether we're looking at their Division 1 team, their Division 2 team. So this is a great opportunity for BeybLadies, regardless of what the scoreline ends up looking like. One, they've definitely put a point on, and it was clean. They've tried a few things in terms of match defense, in terms of zone defense. They're learning more about themselves, their play styles, their opposition, their limits as we go. And so the second half of the game, in fact, the remainder of the first half as well, it's going to be very, very exciting to see what little changes are made, what little tweaks get made over the course of the game. And I could not be more excited.
And the BeybLadies are looking excited to get on that line. Ready for the next point. Currently we have this, the line at the moment talking about what positions they want to be playing, who's handling. We've got signal ready by the BeybLadies and a beautiful put.
Tying with the disc, yes, perfect. That's exactly what I was going to say. Hoping to start off that offense for the BeybLadies. Napolitano on the disc, applying pressure, tries to get a foot high.
Oh, and
great rip.
Great, beautiful put. Back to Tyne again.
That was Ken Ross, and there it is. BeybLadies let it rip. That looks like a score.
And we have Amber Lou bringing that down beautifully. She's very excited about getting that point.
Very, very humble, just a cheeky little celebration. Great work by the BeybLadies to bring it back to a 4-point game. That's huge to see as well. Whatever they spoke about during that timeout clearly worked. So well done to Coach Oliver Swanson for just taking that feedback from the ladies on board and just making sure that we're all keeping focus. It's really, really good to see. Taking a moment thinking, what can we do to change it, make a little change, and be immediately rewarded with such a clean score.
Let's see that again with Tyne putting up the disc. Beautiful forehand. And then Amber Lou just grabbing and picking it down and making sure that disc is hers.
Yeah, Heather McEwen taking the first attempt just over the top, but having that second cutter in that space available just in case there's a little bit of miscommunication or a bit of misread. It's amazing.
And a beautiful pull there by Montgomery, I believe.
Looks like Montgomery, yeah, with the pull. And now we'll see what their defense does. Looks like they're sticking to a match defense. Great cut towards that far sideline. I think that's going to be Louis again. McFadden with it over the top. BeybLadies with an opportunity here. Some great work by Michelle Lee to pressure that reception.
Just slightly a bit too high, unfortunately.
Silverman has it. Very active mark and early engagement, looking for Montgomery. Manages to put it out and gets it into hands.
A beautiful up the line cut there. You saw the engagement and you saw the movement straight from Monty as soon as Silverman needed that help there. Oh, and a beautiful run through D.
Yeah, low on the reset. Just great pressure on that reset. And Amanda McFadden doing huge work on that disc, but great fakes from Montgomery to move her out of the way. Louis throws an assist to Julia Lang. What a great score there for the Blueberries as we take half in this game to 13. The score currently 7-2 in the New Zealand Ultimate Championships Division 2, our women's division. Furious Blueberries from Auckland and BeybLadies from Wellington. I'm very, very excited to be here for the second half, and what a privilege it is to have Rachel beside me in the booth. But until the next half, my name is Blair Monroe.
And I'm Rachel Larkin.
And we will see you soon.
So I was muted for the first half. Oh, you too? That was
That's why I ran over.
And welcome back to the New Zealand Ultimate Champions Division 2. We have the BeybLadies versus Furious Blueberries.
And so after the half time, so the second half of this match, Blueberries going to come out on offense. We're going to see the BeybLadies defense. Looks like they are setting up in a bit of a zone, trying to occupy space, maybe giving up some of those individual matchups, trying to cover ground rather than cover people. Stein out of the front of that arrowhead a lot of the time, and that is a great touch on that by Kiara Chin.
Beautiful defensive play there, just smacking that down.
McEwen puts one through to Thine. Looks like Michelle Lee in the background, winding up for a hammer. Not able to get that one in hands. Great positioning by Tan, but Gibson's going to pick up and start us again for the Blueberries.
Oh, and we got another D there by McLeod.
Thine winds up, but she's not able to get it away.
Straight to
McEwen has it.
Back to Tyne. Looking for her options. A beautiful round put there. Oh, just slightly out of reach.
A little bit of heartbreak there. We're going to get to see that again. Thine with a laser beam for backhand. Was not able to get it to the receiver. It's going to be Gibson to pick up for the Blueberries again as we still see that zone, that arrowhead formation. Nice overhead shot for Deborah, yeah. Goes wide to Gibson on the far sideline. A low laser beam. Napolitano can't bring that one up despite her classic knee slide. There's the big shot. Huge bomb by Thine.
Oh, and it's just slightly out.
Just tipped off the fingers, a
tipped
little
off
bobble.
The fingers.
Great work by Kizzleall for that one. Not enough though. Tiani far sideline. Trying to work with Tong and Low. Puts one near sideline to Gibson, who puts the big shot up. Great work by Irwin to shut that one down. McEwen has the disc. McLeod directing traffic from the downfield. And a stall was called. So we need a stoppage of play. So Rachel, talk us through what exactly a stall means.
Well, in Frisbee, there's a stall count that comes on, and you have 10 seconds to throw the disc. If you end up being stalled out, so the stall count gets quite high to 10, it means that there would be a turnover. And so what's happening at the moment is just discussing what happened and if it actually was a stall or not.
So kind of like a shot clock in basketball.
Yeah, I don't really play a lot of basketball though, so.
With your height and athleticism, that comes as a natural surprise. Looks like that was contested, so McEwen just puts one up anyway, and it's good! Chin with the pull down for the point. BeybLadies go to 3.
She wanted that disc, she attacked that disc and brought it down beautifully.
And so it looks like that may have been a contested stall count. So that just comes in on, I believe, 8. It's either 8 or 9. And so McEwen just had no time, had to let that one rip, puts that one up for Chin. What a great shot.
It was a beautiful forehand. Very, very quick. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful play.
And so the BeybLadies get to come out on defense now.
They look like they already know what they want to do.
We've got Silverman, McEwen, Weld, Montgomery, Lee,
Kinross, and Lee. And Louis. And we've got McEwen there, ready for the pull.
Just waiting for the signal from the far side, the Blueberries. A couple of players providing some last-minute instruction, maybe some information, some insights from the sideline before they leave the field and let us get on with the next point. Great pull there from the
beautiful,
BeybLadies.
beautiful pull. We got Low looking for that option there, but just puts it a bit too far.
Yep, McFadden not able to get a hand to it. It's going to give the disc to Blueberries. Have they got an option here? That's Weld.
Weld with the disc, with some aggressive looking fakes there. Oh,
Chang with a huge run through.
You got Wood with the disc, looking for the up the line cut.
Wood stops early, turns around, gets the reset, manages to push towards midfield with Chang with a very low laser beam.
Oh,
Touchdown by Kinross.
Runs throughs and says no.
And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Says no is about the best comment you can make on a good block.
Oh, it looks like we got a stoppage here.
Whether or not there was contact on the throw, possibly. So it'll be a conversation between Caitlin Wood and Liz Weld as to sort of what the resolution should be.
It looks like they decided that there was no foul on that play, and the call was retracted.
So play will resume as though the stoppage never occurred.
We got
Montgomery with the disc.
Looking for those options. Beautiful put to Kinross there.
Silverman pushing under as a potential bailout
Lou
option.
doing a beautiful cut.
Weld pushing into the deep space.
And just slightly bubbles that forehand. And
Hugh with the great block there for the Blueberries to give possession back to the team from Auckland. Chang with the monster forehand. If I'm not mistaken, that makes bookends. That's Hugh with the huge layout score. And possibly an injury. What an amazing play, putting body on the line to put Blueberries up to 8. Takes a moment in child's pose, tries to stretch things out.
That was a beautiful grab, and it was great that she cowered onto it, even coming down, and she hit that ground hard.
Really putting the furious in the name, just such intensity, willing to leave it all out on the field to get the score there. Great work by Hugh. Getting a bookend, so getting the first and last touches on a possession by generating the turn with that hand block, pushing all the way through for a score. Just amazing work there. She'll definitely be dining out on that one tonight.
And these ladies all play several games across the day. They are really putting their bodies on the line. They're really hustling. They're really fighting for that disc. And it's a beautiful game of Frisbee we're watching today there, Blair.
And there is the pull from the Blueberries. Fielded early by Montgomery. Working with Thine. We're seeing the BeybLadies kind of roll through a variety of different stacks. Just a slight overthrow. Thine's not able to get there, so we're back on defense for the team from Wellington. Lowe is going to pick up the disc. Manages to work to Tierney, who bounces one on the up line. It's called in by both teams. Great work by Lowe to keep the toe in. Reset, Thine intercepts. What a great read on that one. Great work by Tong to just get involved. Look at that. We'll see it again. Such a good toe drag.
We end up having a high amount of communication from these teams. They're pointing where they want their players to go, and they're really directing them. They
Chong.
see the space and they want that space filled.
Chong bouncing the disc off Tierney. Chong putting a high forehand up, looking for Napolitano in the end zone. Another knee slide, but it's not going to be enough.
Just slightly out of reach, just a little bit too low there. And it just comes out of Wild's hands there. Now the BeybLadies are back on defense with Blueberries looking to score.
It's like Low jumped that in, but it's not quite in. Might have been a straddle, so 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Has to bring it out of the end zone, but manages to punch one through to Tierney for the score as the furious Blueberries go one away from breaking double digits in our game to 13.
That was much of a decisive cut there. Like, knew that she wanted to attack that space and really went for it. It was just a beautiful, beautiful play.
BeybLadies with a long road ahead of them, but still anyone's game. We've seen them be able to punch a few points through the Blueberries defense. We know that the Blueberries are not playing perfectly. They are making mistakes. The question is, are the BeybLadies going to be able to tighten things up and capitalize on those to start putting some more points on the board?
Yes, it definitely could be anyone's game. The BeybLadies are fighting hard to be able to get those points on the board. With the score of 9-3.
And there is the signal. Caitlin Wood with a hand up. Nice little run up. Big swing of the disc towards the far sideline, all the way, driving down the field to around the brick mark.
McEwen with the disc. Back to Tyne.
Marked out by Ling. McFadden.
Beautiful layout, D.
Huge block. Looks like there's a little bit of impact there, but what a play. Just punching past McLeod. Goes with the left-hand forehand to find center field. Louis has the disc. Looks back to McFadden, pressured by McLeod still. Calling for what she wants. A lefty backhand towards near sideline. Finds Louis, marked by McEwen.
McFadden looking for that option up the line. Manages to get it.
Finds Ling, very close to the end zone now. Left-handed backhand, snatched up by Louis, who's there for her. Where's the support? Nothing coming past on that forehand side thanks to the aggressive defense of McEwen.
A swing back to the middle there by the Blueberries team, and a beautiful up the line cut, but just comes off the tip of their fingers.
Heartbreak for Caitlin Wood. What great aggressive offense. Furious offense, one might say. Just outside of her ability to pull that one in, but an amazing play nonetheless. Tyne finds Silverman. Comes right past.
Tyne with a beautiful grab there. And a beautiful up pull.
Kinross is underneath it.
Will she grab it
She's
down?
got
She
it.
does.
Just needs to finish this off. McLeod open in the end zone, but it doesn't go. But
Back
it is
to Tyne
Tyne.
again. And then a beautiful forehand.
It's McEwen. Comes off the fingertips. Aini Louis securing that disc, making sure it hits the turf. What a nail biter. We want to see some of these scores. We want to see that scoreline change.
It was such an amazing point. Or nearly a point. No, actually, it was just such an amazing play. Keeps me on the edge of my seat there.
Yeah, you might be paying for your whole seat, but you're only needing the edge of it. It's Wood finding an unmarked Santillion. Silverman puts the pressure on. It's Ling on the near sideline, pressured by Tyne. Just some great play. Louis again. Oh, McEwen playing it safe, not getting too close to take that space. McFadden as the reset works around to Wood.
And because this game is no contact, you see the players purposely avoiding the contact, avoiding the collisions, avoiding
Caitlin Wood gets another attempt and manages to pull it in this time. It's interesting that you mentioned that the game is no contact. In most situations, yes, although based on some coverage from our Division 1 game between Brightside and the Ellipsis men's team, there were a few just straight screens, almost like the Stephen Adams of Ultimate. Just players parking up or stopping too early, and all of a sudden, too much momentum. So it's really nice to see that on the flip side, in this BeybLadies Furious Blueberries game, that there is a lot more consideration of the other bodies on the field and some really safe and considerate play. It's really good to see.
Yeah, most definitely. It's really great to see these ladies really looking at the space and really trying to avoid that contact. At the end of the day, a lot of these players need to go to work on Monday. So
there's only so much ACC can do
that is
with
correct.
a sprained ankle.
Or a broken toe. And, you know, it's always a good old laugh every once in a while.
That's exactly it. This is why we come here, folks.
Yeah.
So if you've never played a game of Ultimate, I do urge you, look on Facebook, find your local Ultimate organization, your Waikato Ultimate, your Auckland Ultimate. Find some opportunities to grab a disc, head along to some club trainings or open practices. There's just a huge amount of fun to be had. The community can be very, very welcoming, especially to new players. So if you've never had experienced the joy of Ultimate, head on down, try and get some time in on a disc. You'd be surprised at just how much fun you can have. As we see Montgomery on the far sideline with the disc, trying to get a forehand into mid-space. It's Liz Weld underneath.
And she grabs it, picks it down, looking up for the next option.
Great
Good
grab
grab.
there.
No call, but
Slight overthrow on the continuation by Chin. We'll see that again. A bit of a hospital pass. There's a lot of players underneath, but Chin's the one who came down with it. And so we're going to see the Blueberries set up in a horizontal stack, trying to use the still conditions to push the depth of the field. We've got Claire Gibson with the disc marked by Montgomery.
the horizontal stack actually creates a lot of pockets and a lot of movement.
And that is a slight miscommunication there that's going to give the disc back to the BeybLadies. Montgomery has it again.
And a beautiful point to...
But a pick has been called, so a great cut, but the defender was nowhere to be seen, and it seems as though a pick interfered with that defender's ability to follow Liz Weld. It being a non-contact sport, players have to try and make sure they pick lines.
And what
a hammer for the score!
Montgomery! Beautiful hammer for a score.
Absolutely
She saw that and she
fantastic.
wanted it and she took it. That was beautiful.
Just what a put. It's what we came here. You've got to give the people what they want.
And to be honest, it is hammers.
Just a beautiful overhead shot. The disc comes back in after the pick is resolved. No hesitation.
No
just
hesitation.
pops it
Just
up.
straight that back there. Oh, beautiful.
Great reel in by Chin for the score, putting BeybLadies on 4 against the Furious Blueberries on 10. So just a reminder, if you're just tuning in, Ngā Puna Wai Sports Hub in Christchurch, we have the Furious Blueberries on 10 against the BeybLadies on 4. This is a game to 13. So we have a 75-minute soft cap. We'll explain a little bit more about what that means as we approach that time. But for now, we're just racing, trying to put these points on the board. BeybLadies with an amazing score just now off a hammer. Probably the first one of the game, I believe. Now they're going to come out on defense, hoping to generate a turn from these Blueberries and push the disc back the other way to put another score on the board for the side in purple.
And sometimes you just need a beautiful hammer just to score that point. It's a good way to find the space. It's a good way to go over players.
And quite often, I think that those big dynamic plays can make a huge difference in terms of really drumming up a lot of energy for a team, and it helps to stage a comeback. Layout blocks, layout scores. Some minor collisions, as we've said before, a non-contact sport. Great attempt at a foot block by Lee, and it's going to put enough pressure on. The disc is going to touch down. It's those dynamic things, those layout blocks, foot blocks, point blocks, big scores. They really make a huge difference in terms of the energy of the team, and they can really stage a comeback late in the piece. Just really exciting to see.
And you definitely have seen this, some amazing plays during this game. You've seen layout Ds, you've seen bodies on the line, you've just seen some amazing throws.
McEwen puts one up. Who's going to be underneath it for the read? Or Blueberries defense just has it. Lowe gets it, finds Santillian. Nice lefty backhand to Louis, midfield. High release goes up.
Oh, with McLeod just managed to block that one.
What a great block there. It's going to give the disc back to the BeybLadies, setting up in a vertical stack. Tries to connect with Lee, but it's not going to work. And Arisha Chang, supported by Caitlin Wood in the upfield space, finds Brittany Cock on the far sideline, marked by McLeod. Threads one through to Chang, who has to go to ground to keep it in hands.
I love how these players really want to keep that disc alive, really are trying just to grab it when it's just out of reach.
Caitlin Wood making an aggressive upline cut.
And it's just slightly too high, and it comes down.
It's not going to get back into the hands of the Blueberries. BeybLadies have an opportunity here. Nice high blade shot, pulled down by Thine. Some great work, some slow movement developing in the downfield space. Thine puts it up. Great work managing to find Tan.
Back to Tyne again. She's definitely real. And another amazing pull to Kilross. Will she prove that this time? She's going to take it. And there's the point. What?
Great work by Kinross. Ali Kinross with the score, putting another point on the board for the BeybLadies. Keeping the game tight in the immortal words of Bubba Sparks. Get it right, get it right, get it tight.
Keeping the game exciting. Keep it right, keep it tight. That's definitely a saying and a half, isn't it?
And so I think for the second time, it's going to be, second time in a row maybe, that the Blueberries are coming out on defense, on offense rather. So some really great work by the BeybLadies, managing to stretch it back, put a couple of points on the board, showing that the Blueberries don't have this game locked down just yet.
And I like how the Blueberries have been putting out different plays out there. They've done the vert stack, which is commonly you see in Frisbee a lot, and then they've switched it up in the last point to do a horizontal. So it's really great to see some different game plays happening just to keep the other team on their toes.
So it looks like we're going to see just a match defense. Thine marking out Claire Gibson, manages to get Tierney. Silverman slow to approach, but still pressuring the disc. Some great work there. Tong fires one far sideline to Napolitano. Gets the reset. As Irwin pressures the disc. Lets one come around.
And
great
wow.
touch by Liz Weld. Immediately pushing into the deep space. Is the throw going to come? Trying to engage Silverman, hoping for something to develop. Just puts the big shot up. Whose is it? Oh, great touch there by the Blueberries defender.
Just knocks it just slightly out of McLeod's hands there.
That was Penny Lim on the touch, I believe, but the disc is going to go to Claire Gibson. Resets to Tong. Threads through to Lowe. Pressured by Montgomery. Finds Tong far sideline, pressured by Irwin. She's taking away the middle of the field. Penny Lim not able to secure that one, and it's McLeod immediately firing back with Montgomery, although it looks like a call was made.
Looks like a travel called. which might have impacted the throw. But we have both teams discussing the points just because there's no referees. Each team are using their what we call spirit to be able to communicate the rules and make a decision about what happens.
So a bit of context for those at home. Players in possession of the disc are able to move around a pivot foot, but if that pivot foot moves or comes off the ground before the disc is released, that constitutes travel, which wouldn't ordinarily be a stoppage, provided it is called and responded to pretty much immediately. But if a couple of plays continue and people don't, it can generate a stoppage, which is what's happened here. Players just going to discuss where they think the disc should reasonably be, whether or not that travel call affected the play, and sort of how this needs to be resolved in order to keep playing.
And another run through D by the Blueberries team there. Beautiful and clean.
Gibson on an up line over Thine, puts the forehand up, looking for Tierney. She's underneath. She's got it.
And a beautiful jump in just to get that point on the board there.
What a fantastic play by Mai Tierney. Number 5 for the Blueberries, putting another point on the board. We go 11-5 in a game to 13.
It's still a very close game. And they're definitely points are coming on from both teams. It's very exciting to watch.
It's one of those cliches of Ultimate where right at the end of the Spirit Circle when the players all gather around and they sort of talk about the game and how they felt it went. One of those cliches is the scoreline does not reflect the intensity. But cliches are cliches for a reason. This definitely is one of those games where it is hard fought back and forth. A lot of these points feel like they could have gone the other way, maybe on a coin toss. It's really amazing to see. Just both of these teams bringing out the heart and the heat and the energy and just leaving everything behind, playing for every disc, making every contact on the disc count. It's just so fantastic to see, especially considering that for the BeybLadies, this is their first season as a new team, and for some of these players, it's their first tournament. It's just really, really fantastic to see the spirit of Ultimate is alive and well in Wellington.
It's just really exciting to see these ladies coming out today, bringing out their A game and really fighting for the disc, really fighting for every touch, really making every throw count. And it's just amazing to see.
Chang with the disc, puts a big rip up. It's going to touch down near sideline skim for a little bit. It's Monty to pick it up,
Montgomery's picking up the disc to Silverman.
We're seeing a Blueberry zone and Arrowhead, so 3 players right up the front trying to force the disc to move towards the sideline.
And a big over-the-top throw to Wild. That's a good way to break a zone, is just to go straight over the top of the players.
As we mentioned before, but it's hard work in a zone. We're seeing McFadden, Santillion, and Louis really pressure that front. But as the BeybLadies feel confident going up over the top, they're managing to work through. That's happening again. It's Liz Weld again. Tallest player on the field by far. Just doing the work of the tall person in a zone offense. Great knee slide to keep that one in hand.
And
Utema!
Just slightly out, but that's a
great attempt. Well done, Michelle Lee trying to get that one, but the disc goes back to Caitlin Wood. She goes up over the top to Chang. Midfield right in front of a defensive end zone, a long field ahead of them. Great pressure, shoulder to shoulder by Weld, means Ling's not going to be able to pull that one down. And so the BeybLadies have a chance here.
We got Silverman with the disc looking for our options.
Big fakes trying to signal to the downfielders, hey, this isn't the cut that I need. And it looks like a stall was made. It'll be uncontested. Some great play there by the Blueberries. Really aggressive defense, not just on the disc, but also elsewhere as well. So shutting down those downfield options. Chang manages to reset to Wood. Pushes to the far sideline with a high shot. Finds Cock. Goes down to the far sideline again. Touches off the tip of Aini Louis' hands. Not able to keep that one in bound. Liswell gets the disc after the turn, finding Lee.
Lee bringing it down beautifully. And we got Liz there running up the line.
Great reception, but it's not in. It's not there yet. There it is. McEwen with the disc. What a beautiful score there to finish that point as BeybLadies put another one on the board. 11-6. Furious Blueberries up over the BeybLadies from Wellington. We are closing in on the later minutes of this game, but it's still hard fought. Every single point counts.
A beautiful knee slide there, just to make sure you're securing that disc.
Great work there to finish that one off. So BeybLadies to come out on defense yet again.
We're going
with the disc.
We're going to see that big berry energy coming down for defense. It looks like we got a very strong line up on for the Blueberries team. And we've got Tyne with the disc, with the pull. Signaling ready.
So a little bit of a roller there, so it's going to give them some time before the Blueberries have to respond to it. Lowe has it, center field, and what looks to be a deep horizontal stack. So all of the downfielders players pushing close towards the end zone. Opens up a channel in the deep space. Napolitano with the disc and the score.
She just grabs that and pulls it down beautifully, like just elegant.
That's just what Mirchu do.
Yep.
Just a great work there, putting us one away, potentially from a Blueberries victory.
She's definitely a very excellent downfielder. Just knows where to find that space and just really attacks it.
We'll get to see that again. Huge, big forehand, stretching the deep space. McEwen with a hand out, but it's just not enough. A Blueberries break here will put an end to the game. A BeybLadies hold will keep the Wellington side with a toe in it.
And we got Wood with the pull, having a bit of a communication of what their strategy would be for this point. A defensive point for the BeybLadies. Looks like they're ready and they know what to do as well. This is a very exciting game. Definitely you're seeing both of these teams really fighting hard for that disc and really using all options and making it work for them.
Here we go. It's going to touch down early, but with a low angle, it's going to skim a little bit. Not a huge amount. McEwen tries to get to Thine. Looks like a run through D is going to cause some contact. And so they're just having that conversation as to whether or not the contact was on the disc, on the player. Looks like that is going to be an accepted foul call. Looks like Thine may have had that one and it got pulled out of her hands, but it is for the players to decide, although they've already called that it's an accepted foul. Thine puts it up. Great work. Tan with the disc. Thine pressuring upfield.
To McEwen there, beautiful round shot and a beautiful put up, but it's way too big. Oh, nope, yeah, way too big.
That is the peril when you've got players with those big arms, those big throws. Judging that distance closer to the end zone becomes that much more important. So the Blueberries to take possession. This is the defensive turn that they were looking for, hoping to put this game away. And it's going to be Caitlin Wood facing off against Melissa McLeod. Aggressive undercuts from Louis, but it's going to get looked off in favor of reset to Chang. Works far sideline, manages to find Hugh. The field opens up in front of him before the defense slowly closes in. Chang again midfield. Finds McFadden. Pressured by McEwen. Gets the left backhand on the upline cut to Louis. Puts a huge forehand up. Looking for low. Comes down with it.
And finds that open player for the score by Rachel Hugh.
Rachel Hugh is the one to put this game away. Some fantastic effort by both of these teams. Huge plays from both sides, but it is the furious Blueberries who walk away with the win this time. BeybLadies should absolutely be proud of the performance that they put on for us at Puna Y Sports Hub in the Division 2 New Zealand Ultimate Championships. It has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to bring you this game. My name is Blair Munro.
And I'm Rachel Larkin.
Thank you so much for joining me for this one, Rachel, and hopefully we will see you again soon in the next one.
ULTI.TV